Alright, I'll admit it. I always get confused when it comes to Marvel's cosmic heavy hitters. Celestials, Galactus, Ego, the living planet. They're all these massive space gods, right? But who's who? Are they all the same? Are they related? And more importantly, who could actually win in a fight? So let's break down, what are the Celestials? Who is Galactus? And why the heck is a planet alive and talking? Stick around to the end, because I've got a theory about Ego and the Celestials you might not have heard before. Okay, let's start with the Celestials. The Celestials are ancient cosmic entities that basically act like Marvel's architects for life and evolution. They're insanely powerful, standing hundreds of feet tall and wearing their iconic armour that hides their true form. They first appeared in Eternals number 2 in 1976, created by the legendary Jack Kirby during his deep cosmic storytelling phase. Their job? Judging civilizations. Seriously, they show up on planets to check whether a species is progressing, or if it's time to hit the cosmic reset button. This all leads us to the Celestial host storylines, massive arcs in Marvel Comics where the Celestials arrive on Earth in groups known as hosts, to evaluate humanity. There have been 4 major hosts. The first host visited to perform experiments, creating the Eternals and the Deviants. The second host returned and nearly wiped out all of the Deviants. The third host warned humanity not to interfere. During the third host, the Celestials warned Earth's gods and mortals not to interfere with their judgment of humanity's future, or risk the future annihilation of Earth. And the fourth host came to pass final judgment. Thankfully, they let humanity live, for now. Their usual enemies are the Eternals, who are literally made by the Celestials to protect their genetic experiments, and sometimes even the Avengers when the Earth's at risk. Power-wise, they're nearly omnipotent. Matter and energy manipulation, creating and destroying entire species, time manipulation, dimensional travel, and they can survive being blown in half. Because why not? Now, in the MCU, we've seen several Celestials, some briefly and some in full. Arishem the Judge is the big red armoured one from the Eternals. He's the leader of the Celestials and oversees the judgment of worlds. Tiamat the Communicator was the Celestial growing inside the Earth in the Eternals movie, until he was turned to stone. We also saw Essen, the Searcher, in Guardians of the Galaxy, wielding the Power Stone to obliterate a planet in a flashback. And both Jemiah the Analyzer and Nezar the Calculator are mentioned in the Eternals as part of Arishem's team. Each one served a specific function in the cosmic order. They're like intergalactic engineers, researchers and judges all rolled into one, and they don't ask for permission. And next up, we have the Devourer of Worlds himself, Galactus. Galactus isn't like the Celestials. He's not part of their race. He's a cosmic constant, more like a force of nature than a god. Born from the destruction of the previous universe, Galactus first showed up in the Fantastic Four number 48 in 1966, also created by Jack Kirby, alongside Stan Lee. Galactus' entire existence is tied to maintaining balance in the universe. But to do that, he needs to consume planets for energy. And yeah, he doesn't just nibble on rocks, he literally drains the life energy of worlds. His biggest feats include going toe-to-toe with multiple Celestials at once, one-shotting planets, and being one of the few beings that the Eternity and Infinity consider a pair. What does that mean? Well, Eternity and Infinity are cosmic embodiments of the universe and time itself. Galactus isn't just strong, he's fundamental to the structure of the Marvel cosmos, and he has to exist for balance to be maintained. His powers include the Power Cosmic, which lets him do basically anything, create life, destroy it, warp time, space, and reality. He can empower heralds like the Silver Surfer or Terax, giving them insane cosmic strength. And even in a weakened state, Galactus is still far above most Marvel heavyweights. His main enemies are usually the Fantastic Four, Thor, and cosmic-level threats like Thanos or the Annihilation Wave. And yes, he has fought Celestials. In some versions, he loses. In others, like when he becomes Lifebringer Galactus, he literally kills multiple Celestials at once. So yeah, don't ever count him out. Now let's talk about the weirdest of them all, Ego, the living planet. Ego is, well, he's a sentient planet with a giant face, brain, and often a massive ego. hence the name. First appearing in Thor 132 in 1966, again, created by Jack Kirby, Ego has changed a lot over the years. In the comics, he's not a Celestial, and he's not even in the same tier as Galactus. He's more of a rogue cosmic anomaly. But in the MCU, Ego was retconned into being a Celestial in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, portrayed by Kurt Russell. Ego's powers include matter control on his surface, mind control over his extensions or avatars, telepathy and energy projection, and some reality warping depending on the writer. He's fought Thor, the Silver Surfer, and even once tried to consume the universe by merging with it. Classic Ego. Usually his main enemies are Thor, Galactus, who once tried to eat him, and the Guardians of the Galaxy in the movies. But compared to the Celestials or Galactus, Ego's usually written as powerful but beatable. Now here's something interesting about Ego's MCU version. He has children, 2 of them in fact, Peter Quill and Mantis. Peter is half Celestial in the MCU because Ego is his father. This gives him the ability to manipulate energy, survive in space temporarily, and even hold an Infinity Stone without dying. He only lost his powers when Ego was destroyed. Mantis, in the MCU, is also considered Ego's child, which would technically make her part Celestial too, but the comics never go there. In the comics, Mantis has no Celestial ties whatsoever, and is more closely linked with Kree and plant-based powers. Their Celestial lineage is unique to the MCU, and it definitely raises questions about what else Ego may have passed down. Quick side note, who are the Eternals? The Eternals are a race of near-immortal beings created by the Celestials to protect evolving planets. Think of them as superpowered cosmic caretakers. They were first introduced in the Eternals #1, 1976, by Jack Kirby. Each Eternal has their own specialty, like Icarus with flight and energy beams, Cersei with molecular manipulation, or Athena with weapon conjuring. Their job? Defend Earth, especially from their genetic cousins, the Deviants, who were also created by the Celestials but went rogue. They're not as powerful as Celestials, but they're still far above your average superhero. Why do the Celestials hate Galactus? While not driven by hatred in a human sense, the Celestials oppose Galactus because he consumes planets, including the worlds they've seeded with life and plan to judge. Galactus is a cosmic force of balance, but to the Celestials, he's a disruptive threat to their designs. Their clashes are rare but catastrophic, with both sides representing conflicting cosmic principles. And why do the Celestials fight the Eternals? Though the Celestials created the Eternals, conflict arises when the Eternals question their creators or act against their judgments. In stories like Axe, Judgment Day, the Eternals defy celestial commands to protect Earth or humanity. Triggering devastating confrontations, the Celestials see such defiance as betrayal and respond with overwhelming force to reassert their dominance. Do Celestials and Galactus hate Ego? Well, Galactus and Ego, the living planet, have clashed several times before. Ego's ambition and chaotic nature put him at odds with Galactus, who once tried to destroy him and even installed a containment device on him. This was seen in Thor 229. As for the Celestials, Ego is more of a cosmic anomaly. They don't recognize him as a true peer, and would likely intervene if Ego's actions threatened their evolutionary experiments. In some versions, Ego claims celestial origin, like in the MCU, but in the comics, he's often viewed as a rogue creation or unique outlier, more annoyance than equal. So who is the most powerful? If we're going to go by raw feats, Galactus, at full power, might be the top dog, especially with the power cosmic and when he's not starving. Celestials, as a group, could overwhelm almost anything. They're the creators of life and often act together. Ego, he's dangerous for sure, but he's not usually in the same league. Think of him as a wild card, powerful, unpredictable, but ultimately outmatched. So it's probably Galactus over the Celestials individually, and Ego below both of those, with the caveat that multiple Celestials together could overpower Galactus, depending on the writer. Now here's the interesting part. In the MCU, Ego claims to be a Celestial, but he's wildly different from the armoured giants we saw in the Eternals. What if it's because he was a failed Celestial project? Some fans have theorized that Ego was engineered by the Celestials as a self-sustaining prototype, something that wouldn't need to judge or consume worlds, just exist and expand using his own energy. But something went wrong. His mind became unstable, he craved control, worship, and eventually started to seed himself into every planet he touched. Soon, instead of being the perfect Celestial, Ego became a cosmic Frankenstein's monster, a warning about what happens when Celestials try to create something that acts alone. And that is honestly way more terrifying. So now you know, Celestials build, Galactus balances, and Ego, well, Ego just wants everything to be Ego. Which one's your favourite? Who would win in a true cosmic showdown? And what do you think of the theory that Ego was a Celestial experiment gone wrong? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, and subscribe for more cosmic chaos, character deep dives, and comic book mysteries. Thanks very much, see you soon.